The patient is not responding. I said, which patient? She said, patient in this room. So I flew to the room and that guy was on the bed. I said, what happened? And he said, he just had his food and he collapsed. Usually when a patient collapses, you have to make sure that they are not responding to you in order to start CPR. He was not responding. I told the nurses to bring the crash cart. I started CPR for him and it went on and on. The nurses came, then I told them to start the oxygen for him and they started the ambu bag. I told them to call my code blue team and some people were having dinner, some people were in the mall. They had to get them to the hospital. No one was there. I was telling myself, and the boy was worried. No family members were there, only the boy. I told the boy, if you're gonna cry, you go out. If you keep quiet, you stay here with me and you help me with your dad. We have to get him back. He said, I will keep quiet. He was very emotional seeing his dad. I started the CPR, the compressions, the chest. I was telling myself all the time, I cannot tell this boy, I'm sorry, your dad passed away. I couldn't do that. I had to say, he has to live.
My guest today is Dr. Eman Al-Faraj. She was born in Kuwait, raised in Bahrain, trained as a doctor in India, built a career in Lebanon through a civil war, and ended up back in Bahrain because of another war. Dr. Eman is a family physician with over 3 decades of experience. She ran an emergency unit for 17 years, earned a master's in healthcare management from RCSI, and is now shaping the next generation of doctors at Arabian Gulf University. In this conversation, we get into what it takes to save a life under pressure, how war affects the trajectory of your life and career, navigating medicine across 4 countries and 3 languages, why most people hide behind excuses, and what she's learned about people after 30 years of treating them. If you enjoy this conversation, a subscribe, comment, like, and share would be hugely appreciated. It'll help this channel grow more than you know. And with that, here is my conversation with Dr. Eman Al-Faraj. But thanks a lot for coming, Eman. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think last year was.
I guess so. Yeah. Before New Year's, yeah. When you have.
Yeah, it was when Dunya. Was it you that came along with Dunya, or was it the other way, or the way around? Oh, you came with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and it's I haven't been back in a while actually to Masters. Yeah, I do need to go back soon, but it's other things have come in. Like I've been quite with this. Yeah. But no, I do intend to go back. So because I really enjoy it. But yeah, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And thank you.
I'm glad it's my first time.
Yeah,
So it's fun.
Is it your first time doing a podcast?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Good for you. Fair play.
Yeah, it's good to start with someone different.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good.
Well, you have quite I would say an interesting, diverse background in terms of where you come from, your work history, I guess what you're into now, your hobbies. So you've got kind of like a nice, colorful collection.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's
good.
It's good. And it's kind of similar. You're kind of cut from the same cloth as Dunya, because she just sort of has all these interests and has.
Yeah. She has extra interest than mine. So yeah, but we do meet at some point, definitely.
Yeah. I guess in terms of she doesn't let things kind of stop her. She just kind of goes for things.
Yeah. She goes with the flow. I kind of plan things sometimes.
But yeah, you are from Lebanon.
Yes,
originally.
I'm from Lebanon.
And you've lived in Bahrain for a while now.
No, much longer.
Yeah.
I was born in Kuwait.
Yeah.
I'm from Lebanon, but I was born in Kuwait. And then, like in the late 70s, I would say we came to Bahrain because my dad had some work up here in Bahrain. Mm-hmm. So he decided like it's a nice, beautiful country and it's good for his business. So he decided to move us from Kuwait to Bahrain.
Okay.
Then I finished my school here, elementary school, and I got first rank in Bahrain. It was the same year that we moved from Kuwait to Bahrain. So I didn't study extra. People think that I studied extra or put some more effort, but I didn't. Just like my normal, usual, studious behavior. And I was the first in rank all over Bahrain. And actually, we were surprised. We didn't know. We were new in the country. We didn't know that they aired these results on the radio or TV later.
Oh, really? Okay.
So my mom was in our shop in Manama, and she gets the GDN for my dad. So she saw my picture on the front page, and she was like, "What? What's happening?" So it was like a shock for all of us.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't know that. Then, so it was good. It was a nice experience. Then, yeah, I had interviews from that age.
Okay.
Yeah, on Bahrain TV.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Yeah, that was good. Then secondary school, yeah, I was still doing well in school. So I was ranked 7th here in Bahrain as well. And then I wanted to study. My parents said I should be a doctor. They had this thing, like when we were small, like, Iman is a doctor and my brother Ayman is an engineer. So we grew up with that idea in our head. So I had to go and do medicine. So the only thing that was, I'm not going to say available because like other places were available, but I don't want to go. So it was India. And this is where I met Dunya, actually. I met them at the airport. So I just asked where because we came to know from the Ministry of Education that there is a group of girls going to India for medicine. So I asked when it was the date and the day, and we booked the flight, and I met them at the airport. Well, I went with them. So I met my classmates over there.
And the rest is history.
Exactly, as they say.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice adventure.
Mm.
And so you said your parents wanted you, it was kind of written in stone that they wanted you to go into medicine.
I don't know. My mom, she always thought that she should have a daughter who is a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I went along with that.
Yeah. And is that kind of a cultural thing? A cultural norm in families?
No, not at all. No. I was the first doctor in my family, not my immediate family. I mean, my small family, even among my cousins and all that. Anyway, I'm older than them, but yes, I'm the first one.
Okay. And how did you feel about that when parents wanted you?
You know, I had a problem because, as I told you, that I was trying in different colleges, like in Iraq, in Jordan, then in Egypt, but I didn't want any of that. And then I was stuck. Then my dad wanted to send me to the US. And I said, no, I was just 17 at that time. So I said, no, how I can go to the US at that young age and all that. Then he said, okay, change your major. So I didn't know how to change my major.
Right.
I was like, I was like oriented that, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to study medicine. So I couldn't choose. I didn't know. Like he said, choose something else, another major, and just stay in Bahrain. But I didn't know. I said, no, I will go with the medicine. I don't know any other subject that I'm interested to do. So I went through it.
Yeah. And are you glad that you did?
Yes, I'm happy as a doctor. Yes. I think I'm good. I think, I can interact with patients. I can communicate well with patients. I have good rapport with patients. So I guess, yes, I did, but I had to work so hard. It didn't come easy.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah, I bet. It's as if it did come easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you're used to study in Arabic and then all of a sudden you have to do all of that in English. So it wasn't an easy journey, but I mean, I was familiar in English. I was good in English, but still, I mean, to be fully oriented in your mind and in your studies and all that in different language.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of challenge.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. If someone said to me, you need to go and study this field, but you need to do it in Arabic.
Yeah.
I think I'd have a bit of
a lot of effort. You have to do a lot of effort. Definitely.
Yeah. And when did you go to India in terms of your study? Was that at the start?
Yeah.
The very start?
Yeah, we went 82.
Okay.
No calculations. Okay, we went 82, but they made us do 2 years pre-medical because our certificate was in Arabic. Although, like, we were good in English, we could speak and write and converse, but they still wanted us to do 2 years pre-medical. So they called it pre-university college, in a pre-university college. So we did that for 2 years. Then in 84, joined the first year of medical school.
Okay, right. So the pre-medical you said was when you traveled.
Yeah, when we went to India, and in that same place where my college is.
Okay.
Which is called Manipan. It is like an Indian village, but it is a private Indian village. It's a hilly station, kind of, not hilly, but I mean, yes, it's hilly, not station. I don't know. I'm not good with that. Anyways, so it was a private college. Somebody started it. It's very famous. It's ranking high among the other medical colleges all over the world.
What's the name of it?
Kasturba Medical College.
Okay.
It's in south of India, Karnataka state.
Right. Okay. And how was your time there?
Well, at the beginning, there was a cultural shock. But then we got used to it, and food was a problem for me, but we got adjusted to it. I used to cook.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom sent me recipes on paper, so I used to cook from that recipes. But during exams, I have no time, so I will eat in the mess. And that way where we stay in the hostel mess. And but it was fun. We're still friends with our college mates, classmates.
Good.
Now.
Good. How many of you was there that went over from Bahrain?
From Bahrain, that time, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7, because there were some people who were like going for the dentistry. So these people were included as well. And however, there were some other Bahrainis, our seniors, like they were like 1 year or 2 years our seniors ahead of us. So there was a group. I was the only Lebanese. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Token Lebanese girl. Okay, nice. And then you eventually came back to Bahrain.
And then I came back to Bahrain. I joined in Salmania. And then there were some problems and I had to leave. So I left to Lebanon that time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so how did your time unfold in Lebanon? What did you
Actually, that was a transition period for me because I didn't know much about Lebanon. We were small, maybe went to, I would say 2 times. Like we went to Lebanon because it was war during that time, the civil war. So my dad never went there. So when I went to Lebanon, I was already like 25 or something after I finished medical college. So like I didn't know anything about my own country. I didn't know my relatives. I knew like this is aunt, this is uncle, this is cousin, like that. This is grandmother. So yeah, I wasn't happy at first to leave Bahrain because I just got back from India. And I wanted to stay with my family because I was away like for 7 years and I didn't connect with them. So I thought like I will stay and connect with them. But then I had to leave again. Yeah. And I don't like to move places much.
Okay. Are you glad that you did make the move to Lebanon?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And retrospective, I was at the beginning, I was really like upset with my mom because she told me that I have to come to Lebanon and then start work there and my relatives will help me and getting a job over there and all that. I wasn't happy at all. But then after being in Lebanon, I felt, yeah, it's good to be in your own country, although I like Bahrain. And like my sisters are married to Bahrainis. Even my brother is married to a Bahraini. But at that time, yes, I felt connected with my country. And I wanted to get to know the places in my country and I wanted to know my extended family. So, and we are fun Lebanese. And I like that food, and the Lebanese people. I like that. It was nice.
Yeah, I think there's a unique characteristic about?
Yeah, they're easygoing. They are, communicate well with other nationalities, and uh, they do whatever they want, and they're open to everything. So I like that culture.
Yeah.
I fitted in properly. Yeah, even though I wasn't there before during my childhood, but I fitted in. I like that.
It was in your DNA.
Yes, I guess so. For my dad. My dad left Lebanon when he was 16. Yeah, he went to Kuwait. He established himself when he was 16. So, he was so young.
Fair
Mm.
And I think there's a resilience to Lebanese people as well because of what they've been through.
Every now and then there's a war.
Yeah.
So you have to overcome that.
I know. They can't catch a break.
No. I mean, you should always have a plan B. You should know what to do, and you should keep all your things in one place, and should be organized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you kind of navigate your time there when you first went to?
Yeah, when I first went, someone from the family helped me to get a job at a health center, because there during that time the private sector is more flourishing than the government. So like you will see many private health centers, many private hospitals. So we started with a health center, and I stayed with them for 14 years. Yeah. And even after I came back here I came back to Bahrain by coincidence only. I didn't even apply for a job, but I just got a job over here. And my name was still there at the health center, because of they would always, they were expecting me to come back or something. So they kept my name for like a couple of years and all that. So yes, I worked, of course, in the medical field, being a doctor. Then someone offered me to work at the Lebanese Croix Rouge, the Red Cross. So I said okay, because I wanted to get to know to my country. I don't know the places. I don't know the cities. I didn't know the villages. So I thought this is a good job to get to know, because I was going to join the mobile clinic.
Okay.
So we would go on a Monday and a Wednesday to remote villages. I come from the north of Lebanon, so we used to go to that site. So north up, different villages, and we will give them the chronic medications, just to do, examine them, look after them. Sometimes we would vaccinate adults or children. So I did that also for 14 years until I came here.
And did you enjoy it? Was it?
I enjoyed it. I was, people were very welcoming, villagers, how they are. They always welcome people. And yes, I was happy to know these small places in my country and look at the beauty of North Lebanon. And yes, it was fun, although I would get dizzy from the turns and the mountains, because you have to go up the mountains and all that. But yes, it was good to know. And the people with me were really, really very nice. We were a good team.
Okay. And you said the main thing that you were doing with the Red Cross at that time was just going around to these remote, small villages to help vaccinate people and stuff.
I give them medications, treat them as well.
Okay. And did you ever have to get involved in any conflict situations with the Red Cross?
See, all the problems during the Civil War. Yes, it was all over Lebanon. The problems, the fires, the attacks. It came all the way up to north of Lebanon. So it was all over. So when the Civil War was over, like in 1991, so things started settling down. And so we didn't have any conflicts. Actually, even when was it? 2000, when the South was liberated from the occupation, we as Red Cross, we went down there to the South, where you can see like Palestine and other parties. So no, on the contrary, the people were welcoming to us, as a Red Cross. So it was okay.
Okay. So you avoided the
Yes, people, respect the Red Cross all over Lebanon, and they know like they are the only emergency line that will save you and come to you.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any nationals. Now there is, but at that time, no, it was only the Red Cross Lebanese.
Okay. And now there's International Red Cross there as well in Lebanon?
No, just Lebanese.
It's just that, okay.
Maybe they come for meetings or conferences, something like that. I'm not sure. But no, it's only Lebanese Red Cross all over Lebanon. Yeah.
I think things have changed in terms of it's quite dangerous to be in the Red Cross now in Lebanon, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, because of what's happening now,
almost like
they are not just attacking the Red Cross staff, but they're attacking other medical staff as well that belong to different groups. So it's not just targeting, but unfortunately, they have to go and do their business, and save people. They're not allowing them to save people.
No. It's almost like you have a target on your back if you have a Red
So
Cross.
people are injured and just let down to die, Yeah. It's just sad.
Yeah. It's awful.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for people in Lebanon right now, especially at the border. There's a lot going on there and it doesn't seem like it's going to.
Hopefully, we're hoping that something will come up out of the peace talks now. Hopefully.
But I just, yeah,
there's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of displacement. There is a lot, all these bombs that are getting, they are changing the weather, the atmosphere. They are ruining the soil. They depend mainly on agriculture. So what are people going to do?
Yeah.
And these trees, they are lost. Olive trees, how many years you will need? Another 10 to 20 years for them to grow up. So, and the soil, I don't know what is the soil now. Maybe you have noticed now the weather in Bahrain after whatever we went through in the past month, it started raining, right? In May, April, late April. So it was like funny. Everything's changing all around. It's totally different.
Yeah. People say that's something to do with the weather stations that were hit.
Yeah, and we don't know what kind of weapons they are using all over the place.
Yeah, well, I think there is cloud seeding going on in the region, and I think whatever weather stations were affected or hit, obviously that has affected the ability to carry out this cloud seeding, so that people think that that's the reason why irrigation is starting to go up again.
Yeah.
Rainfall. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Yes.
But then some other people will say you're getting into conspiracy theory territory, but it makes logical sense. But yeah, I hope things can be resolved. But if history is anything to go by, these ceasefires generally aren't worth the paper that they're written out.
Yeah, like Lebanon now is more than 50 years old, so it's been going on since then.
I know.
Since Independence Day.
Yeah, and the explosion in Beirut.
Oh, that? That was awful.
Yeah.
I was here in Bahrain. I was watching TV, and then I saw a big cloud. I was thinking, what's happening? I didn't know. Then they started putting these urgent news and all that. And this explosion, I had to check on my sister. My sister is there. I had to check on my niece because she travels from Beirut to Tripoli. Oh my God, it was awful. It was terrible. The loss and the ignorance. Oh.
Yeah, it's just when there's some sort of semblance of normality from all these different times of unrest.
As if we are like Lebanese are easy target. So it's such okay. You can do this thing to this this kind of people. You can do that to them. They will never complain. They will not do anything.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And how was your family and friends back in Lebanon when the explosion happened? Was there anyone affected?
No, alhamdulillah, nobody was affected. No. Yeah, I think at that time my niece had already left some time ago. Earlier, before the explosion, thankfully, she was back at her place.
Okay, good. And what brought you back to Bahrain from Lebanon?
War again. Actually, it was 2006.
Right.
And I used to visit Bahrain here all the time because my family is here. So I used to visit, and my dad, God bless his soul, used to tell me, Iman, please come back and work in Bahrain. I used to tell him, no, I'm happy in Lebanon. I want to stay in Lebanon. I got used to it, and I was happy over there. And I had my own clinic as well over there. And I already established my circle and my own friends, and I was like, okay with that. So again, all of a sudden, war started 2006. Actually, in that year, that was July 2006. January 2006, we were here in Bahrain visiting family, me and my sister and her family, and we went back. Then my sister decided that she wants to spend the summer here in Bahrain. That was like June. She had 2 months to stay with her kids here. So, and I said, I just came to Bahrain like just 5 months ago or something. So I don't want to come and visit Bahrain at that time. I stayed over there. Then war started. My sister got stuck here. I was stuck in Lebanon. Then airport closed down. Then, and my family were worried about me. They said, come to Bahrain, all that. So I said, okay. Anyway, there was no work, nothing. So you could not go to work at all at that time. So I had to come through Damascus. So I came through Damascus from north to Damascus. Then I came to Bahrain. Then at that time, like I said, I think 1.5 months or 2 months almost, they extended our visa here, thankfully, Bahrain government. And then all of a sudden, the airport opened back again. So I remember it was a Tuesday, and I told my sister, I'll book the tickets back home. And she said, okay. So I booked on a Saturday. Then on that Tuesday, we received a call at home that somebody wants to interview me for a job at a hospital. And I said, nobody knows that I'm in Bahrain, and didn't meet any of my friends, and I didn't give a CV to anybody in Bahrain. So who's calling me? They said, no, don't worry. We have your CV. Someone has given it to us. You didn't need to know now who, but you have to come at this time to see this person, this consultant. So like I said, I asked for the name of the hospital. They told me. I said, then let me check with my family if they know where it is, because I don't know anything about this hospital. So yes, they drove me to the hospital. I met the CEO, and like it was love at first sight.
Good. Good. So it worked out. It worked out. And how long was that time window between when you arrived in Bahrain and then getting the job offer?
Yeah, I told you I was leaving Bahrain. I told him it was the Tuesday, and I was leaving after 4 days.
Okay.
I got the call on Tuesday, and I was leaving on Saturday.
Okay, so this
I stayed like 1.5 months here in Bahrain, and just right at the end, they called me.
Right, so you were coming back because you were able to eventually get back to Bahrain from Lebanon where the war was going on.
Yeah, I was in Bahrain for 1.5 months.
And when it opened back up again?
I booked the ticket to go back, and I got a call on Tuesday, just 4 days before leaving Bahrain.
Okay.
You know? I don't know that. I don't know that. So these people wanted me to join immediately. I told them, no, I have to go back to Lebanon. I'm already traveling. I have to go back, and I have to sort out my things. I have my own patients. I have to manage them. I have my work at the Red Cross. I have my work with the other health centers. I used to teach at some technical college. So I had to sort out my things. So I told them I'll come after 2 months.
Okay, so you went back to Lebanon to sort out your...
So my stuff and all that. Yeah, and then I came back to Bahrain. I joined back we went back to Lebanon end of July, 1st of August. Then I came back October 26th. I joined.
Okay. And are you glad that you made that decision to come back to Bahrain?
Yes, retrospectively, yes. And I thank the person who gave my CV to them. Actually, yeah, that guy, actually, my sister used to work. He had a laboratory, and he was a shareholder in that hospital. And he used to meet me every year, and he will he asked my sister to call me and to meet him. And he will come and say, Iman, please come and join with me. He had some diabetic center. I say, I'm not diabetologist at all. I'm just like family physician. And he said, no, you can do this, you can do that. And I told him, no, I'm really happy in Lebanon. I want to be in Lebanon. Then again, I come like the year after and he would call me. Then again, I would say like, no, this is not the job for me. I don't fit. I don't want to see diabetic patients. Then when this happened, I thought, yeah, this is like the third time. If I don't take that chance, I will never have another chance. And there is war at my country. So nothing is working. So yeah, I took the offer and I thanked him after that. I thanked him like for offering me this job and that believing in me actually consistently, like he's asking after me and he wanted me to come and join over here.
Very good. And how did it feel at the time leaving Lebanon to come here? Was it sad or was it?
Yeah, it was sad because I was leaving my sister and the kids. I was attached to them, but like actually my sister helped me in the decision to take the decision to come here. She said, she's younger than me. She said like, don't think of staying in Lebanon just to be with us. Because like at that time, her husband was trying to go to Dubai and she said, if he gets a job, she will go. And so like, I shouldn't like, say I want to stay back in Lebanon just because of my sister over there. So that helped me to assert myself and take the decision to come to Bahrain. In addition to not to miss a chance. Okay. I'm a believer on taking chances when possible. Don't ever think like, oh, this will come again. Nothing comes again at all. So it's either now or never. So, or maybe it comes in a different shape. Sometimes, yeah, chances come in different shape and different locations or different way. But yes, when you think it's the right decision, just go with it. So it came, and actually true to that, to my what my sister said, after 8 months, she moved to Dubai.
Okay, so it all worked out.
So, and during that first 2 years, I thought I will come to Bahrain, honestly. I'll stay 2 years and then go back to Lebanon. Really that much I was like connected. Only 2 years I'll stay here and then I go back to Lebanon. Mm-hmm. But then, just went. 20 years now.
Yeah. No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, family is here. Actually, also the third reason that why I have family here. If I was going to be in a country alone by myself, no, I wouldn't have, I took that offer. But because I have a family, I'm familiar with Bahrain. They just regenerated my CPR and my driving license and all that. I didn't start from scratch in Bahrain. I had a base over here. I had friends as well. So it was like easy to blend in. So it wasn't difficult for me. So many factors in like taking this job.
Sure. And this job that you took, was this a new type of role for you, or was it something you?
Yeah, I was. Yes, that's a nice question. Yes, actually, in Lebanon, I was working in health centers mainly, and the school health and Red Cross. And in Lebanon, we have to have multiple jobs in order to make ends meet. So. Like for me, it was like to do one job that covers all that running around. It was worth it. So yeah, and here I worked in a hospital. I wasn't working in a hospital in Lebanon.
Right.
So hospital setting is different from health center or any other work or Red Cross or whatever. It's a different job.
Okay. And just going back to your time with Red Cross, was it most of the time you were going in the mobile?
Yeah, I was in the mobile.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so going from that to a big hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How did you kind of adapt to that environment? Did it take some time?
No, I'm smart. I managed. No, really, no, I managed. Yeah, I told you I'm very dedicated. I'm very hard worker. And just give me a job, I'll manage it. And immediately they showed appreciation to me, like in the first 1 month. Like I told you, I joined in like end of October. They registered me like first. They gave me 4 days to adjust, and they registered me November 1st. Just 4 days. Like other people will have like, I usually after that, the juniors, when they came, I give them like 2 or 3 weeks to adjust and all that. I just 4 days it took me. And then, when I asked them that I want to go to Dubai to meet my sister, they immediately give me okay. Usually they don't. agree. I mean, for a new employee to travel like within 2 months, 1.5 months. So I was given that privilege. So I think I had a good impact on them. So it's like I learned a lot. I learned a lot from them. I stayed with them for 17 years.
Wow. Okay.
I resigned from them like in October 22. I waited for my contract to
end.
Yes.
Okay. So your specific field that you were concentrating on in that hospital, what was it exactly? What was your day?
Yeah, I was, my position was a duty doctor, and I was a senior medical officer, and I was in charge of, they call it like, it's supposed to be an emergency room. They call it 24 hours because like they don't want to take that heavy emergency, like road traffic accidents or trauma or whatever, So like, but they call it 24 hours an emergency clinic. So I was in charge of that. They made me.
Okay, so you were managing the emergency clinic, and that can encompass any sort of critical injury or emergency.
No. Not if we get a critical injury, we will stabilize that the patient and send to tertiary. We are just opposite Salmania, so we send to Salmania Hospital. But I have to look after the patients in the ward. So I was also in charge of inpatients as well.
Right.
Because these patients, they come for like surgeries, whether it is general surgery, whether it is obs and gynae, whether it is ENT, that's ear, nose and throat. Yeah, so me, myself, and the other doctors with me. So we were like around 5 or 6 doctors
that were running that. Okay.
The ward and the emergency unit.
Okay. Yes. And so the emergency unit, you were saying, if there's any type of emergency, they will come there initially to where you are, and then you will send
those people when they are in emergency, they just want any clinic, anybody open, any doctor that will see them.
Okay.
So they don't know, maybe they, because we used to get some Saudis, some Kuwaitis, plus the locals, because they know some of the consultants over there. So sometimes they don't know what service you are. So once I asked one patient, why you came here to this hospital? Because there were so many hospitals around this. He said he just checked Google, and the Google directed him to our hospital, that we are open and all that. But the emergency doesn't necessarily have to lie in the emergency room. It's from the ward itself, from the inpatient.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get an understanding. So if they come there, you might not always be able to treat them for that emergency.
No, usually we do. Usually we do. Right. Because, like cardiac arrest, like any coma or loss of consciousness, they will call the ambulance and they will take them to tertiary hospitals.
Okay.
To the main hospital, either to BDF according to where they live, or to Salmania Hospital.
Okay.
So these are the major cases. Again, if there is any big accident, they will take them to the tertiary. They will not bring them to a small private hospital. We were only 20 beds.
Okay. And what type of like injuries or situations would you cater
No,
for?
we will get like people coming midnight for like throat pain.
Okay.
For a cough.
Right.
Midnight.
Okay.
Mind midnight.
Yeah, I've been one of those people.
Yeah, really? What you were doing in the morning or afternoon?
It was probably like 4 a.m. I think I had a bad fever at one point, and it just wasn't getting any better. I think it was probably 3 a.m.
Okay, maybe. Okay, when you get a high fever, definitely you go to that emergency room.
Royal Bahrain.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have a gold card with them at this point.
Really?
I go, well, I've been there a bit.
Okay.
I think I just get everything. Any time I have any issue, I go get.
Okay, you don't wait. You don't want to resolve it. No. Okay.
And then it creates the illusion that there's always something wrong with me.
Okay. You're always worried.
I
curious about your health?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm worried. I'm not like a hypochondriac, but I've kind of learned because
expert to fix it.
Yeah, because previously I would have kind of let things go by the wayside, but now I'm just like, you have access to all these places and you can get seen pretty quickly. Just you might as well go. So that's the good thing about Bahrain. You can get seen to very quickly.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. Not really just like yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like back home,
America or Canada,
or in Ireland. Yeah, it's not. It's quite flawed.
Yeah, I went to Ireland and they were like complaining the medical stuff over there, NHS and all that.
Yeah, it's No, it's not. It's not great.
Yeah.
But there's good quality of health there. But if you've got pretty good private health care,
Something
but you can still get put on waiting lists for MRI. It can take time to get MRIs. It can take time to get physio. Over here, you can get seen to
My
straight away.
nephew in Canada, he was in the emergency room for a nosebleed for 8 hours.
Ridiculous.
They just give him plastic. I mean, why waste somebody's time and all that? And like, they'd be worried. And he was alone, so.
Yeah.
It's just the system. Otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, but thankfully Bahrain is pretty efficient with their healthcare. You can get seen to very quickly. And yeah, so you did 17 years in that private clinic. And how were those 17 years? What did you learn from that?
I learned a lot. We had the best consultants. They were Salmania consultants. And they decided to open their own hospital. And they wanted their own clinics. And they were really top-rated consultants. I learned from them, not just like medicine and all that, but even like academically or how to run things, management, which actually took me to do my master's in healthcare management at RCSI here in Bahrain.
Okay.
But actually we were referenced to Dublin. We are supposed to be like, or we are actually Dublin graduates from RCSI in Dublin. So yes, I learned. So basically, actually, my work was like, I would say like 60% with the patient. No, 40% with the patients or 50-50. And the other one is management. So like when I started thinking to move out of the hospital, I thought like I want to work in management or something. Nobody will take me for my experience. So I have to have a degree. How am I going to prove that I know in management? So that's why I took the course, 2 years, master's in healthcare management at the RCSI.
Okay. Yeah. So you wanted to add that extra layer of skill, I guess.
Skill and education. Yes. Yes. I wanted to move that.
Yeah. Okay. And the people management aspect, there's a lot of interpersonal skills involved there. There's a lot of coordination.
Yeah.
That kind of has to go hand in hand with the effective healthcare worker as well. And I spoke with Dunia about this. There's the dimension of having good technical knowledge of healthcare, but then you may not be great at managing people. So we're at connecting with people either on a peer level or on a patient doctor level. So I guess that's everything that you try to learn.
And actually, yes. And that's what they teach you first thing. The first module in healthcare management is management of people.
Okay.
This is the first thing, the first module. And it's not quality. It's not like finance. It's not, no, it's management of people. And then culture. If you don't know how to communicate with people, like you said, Patrick, or you don't know how to communicate with people or try to understand the culture and not just push people to change, because people cannot change just immediately, just like at the click of your hand. No, they would take them some time. People resist change.
They do. They get defensive.
And their beliefs and their culture or what they are used to, an organization.
Yeah.
They will just stick to what they want.
Yeah. So you have to kind of find a way to slowly, gradually bring someone around to, I guess, changing their outlook on something. And that can be very important with patients, because if there's a patient that comes into the emergency clinic or someone who's undergone pretty harsh injury, they may not be in the right frame of mind. So you need to know how to navigate that.
We have to be always, I always used to tell my doctors, you have to always be in that frame of mind. You are here to serve patients.
Yeah.
Please keep your worries or whatever you have at home or your personal stuff outside the workplace, because we are here to concentrate on our patients. So don't lose that. And I mean, when you work in the emergency, you have to be like this, very well organized, and you have to act fast in order to, if anything like happens, if a patient arrests in the ward, you have to go and save that patient.
Yeah. And if you don't leave your emotion at home, if you've been having a bad day in your personal life, And if you bring that into work, that can be the difference between saving.
Yeah, you'll be like, you will not be nice to the patient. You'll be mumbling all the time, or you'll be like, irritated, and you will not listen properly to the patient. So it's not good.
No.
You are like, you being a patient, you're like a nice doctor, right?
Yeah.
Listening to you, understanding your problem and all that. So yeah, we try our best to serve them, to be nice to them. Actually, that's why I said the general physician. Because I like, usually, I wanted to do radiology, but then, I like investigating things and looking at things, trying to find out what's there. But then at that time, I thought to myself, I'll be stuck in a room. I have to see this, x-rays, radiographs, and I will not be the person. I discovered it. I will give my report. I will not be the person to give the news to the patient. Someone else will have to go and give it to the patient. So I like this human touch. I like to communicate with people.
Sure.
So I don't want to see, of course, upside down is not my place. I cannot be disturbed from my sleep and go and see someone at night. Mm-hmm. It's a noble thing, but not for me. Different people for everything. So I thought I want to see everybody. Mm-hmm. So that's why I stayed as a family physician. I want this children, the elderly, the adults, females, males, all kinds, teenagers, everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay. Yeah, and because you can pick up different little pieces of, I guess, skill and wisdom from dealing with different types.
Different age groups, different families. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, because myself and Dunya, obviously, she's in pediatrics.
Yeah, emergency pediatrics.
So she was concentrating on,
that
children.
Age group, particular people.
Yeah, and she had interesting things to say about how you go about interacting with different.
Yeah, you have to be, when you are dealing with pediatrics and small age groups, definitely you have to be at a different level with them. You should know, you should have, I'm not going to say a language, but a different way of approaching them. You have to make them to trust you. And others might trust you because they understand that they are here, that you will help them, you have the knowledge. But children will not know that, they will not comprehend that. So, of course, a pediatrician will have an extra skill to communicate with small age group.
And as a general practitioner or family doctor, I guess you have to wear different hats, many different hats, in terms of you could be dealing with a child 1 minute.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you'll go to middle-aged or
elderly. Sometimes, we used to see elderly.
Yeah. And what's kind of the big difference in? Obviously, there's a difference in how you communicate. But what, from your perspective, how do you sort of change the way that you communicate if you're seeing multiple people across a day? How do you sort of navigate that?
I use usually humor with my patients, with the people I see. Yeah, I get attached. I mean, I'm not going to say, no, I don't get attached to them, but I find a rapport between me and the patient, and we make it easy. Of course, they have to listen to me. I have to convince them. If they are not being convinced, I will talk logic to them, why they have to take this treatment and why we have to do this, or why if I need to refer them to another place or another specialty. So I have, over the years, even in Lebanon, I had so many good experiences with patients. Once, I'm going from here, from Bahrain to Lebanon, I'm going to check my clinic, and I met one lady. There was no electricity, so I was up the stairs, and I met one lady after 2 years being in Bahrain. She said, I came to your clinic, I wanted to see you. She said, I didn't know that you have relocated, you're in Bahrain. So, patients, remember me.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. So, I have a good rapport with the patient. I go down to them. I don't like acting like a doctor. I know better. No, I don't know better. I know what I know, and I will help you with my knowledge and with my skills. And I always find a way to reach out to the patients.
And and you said humor is a big part of your.
Yes, I'm not strict, so I tell them, let's do this. It will be good to you. This will help you. You will not have this thing. Yeah, I put some sense into them. Yeah, to accept my advice.
Yeah, And do you think the humor diffuses any tension?
Definitely.
It breaks down that.
Definitely ice. Definitely. Because, patient will come, they're worried about what the doctor's going to, and like you said, things will start playing in your head. What's wrong with this pain? Maybe something else. I have maybe something serious. So people are coming with their faces are pale and they are worried. And it's just simple thing at the end. So yes, if you welcome them nicely, you have a smile on your face, you show them that you are not tense, you are not worried, that you know your work, you know your premises, you have good staff with you. So yes, it can. This is in the emergency room. Yes, it can go like that.
Yeah, because it's a high pressure, high tense.
I'm telling you again, in the ward it can be. I got many patients that got arrested in the ward, and I had to go and save their lives. That was a big story.
Tell me one of those. Do you have one of those specific stories of like chaos?
Yeah, I had like 2 or 3 of that, and thank God I saved all of them. But the difficult one was the last one. Like it was January 22 when I decided that I wanted to resign from there. Yeah, it was a very nice. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
It was a very nice Friday evening. And on Friday, you have nobody, only the duty doctor and a couple of nurses, receptionists. So, no anesthetists, no consultants, clinics are closed, nobody, only you and the patients. So that evening I was in I've seen that patient. That patient it was a Friday, so the patient on Thursday had a microdisc surgery, that is a back surgery. Okay. And he was a non-diabetic and hypertension, I guess. I think he was in his 50s, maybe 57 or 58, that patient, something like that. So like I met him, because when I go to duty, we have different shifts. So when I go to duty, I have to visit all patients and check on them, check their vitals, check their medications and all that. So I visited him and we spoke, and his son was over there, and everything was well. And the nurses were with me, and vitals were good. Everything was good with him. He has received the medications he's supposed to receive and all that. So I went to my room and I was doing some work over there. Then all of a sudden, like around, I don't know, 5 or 6, the nurse comes and said, Doctor, please come. The patient is not responding. I said, which patient? She said, patient in this room. So I flew to the room, and that guy was on the bed and the son was over there. Then I said, what happened? And he said, he just had his food and he collapsed. Then usually when a patient collapses, you have to make sure that they are not responding to you in order to start CPR. That's the cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So he was not responding. So I had to make him flat properly and adjust things. And I told the nurses to bring the crash cart. I started CPR for him. And it went on and on. Then, of course, the nurses came. Then I told them to start the oxygen for him. And they started the ambu bag. And I told them to call my code blue team. And some people were like having dinners. Other people were in the mall. They had to get them to the hospital. No one was there. And I was telling myself, and the boy was worried. No family members were there, only the boy. So I told the boy, if you're going to cry, you go out. If you keep quiet, you stay here with me and you help me with your dad. We have to get him back. Then he said, no, I will keep quiet. He was like very emotional, like seeing his dad dying. And so I started the CPR, the compressions of the chest. And I was telling myself all the time, I cannot tell this boy, I'm sorry, your dad passed away. I couldn't do that. I had to save him. He has to live. He had to live. So then the nurses started telling me, come doctor, we'll release you, because it's tiring, you have to put that pressure and you have to press, you have to go down for like 5 centimeters, 2.5 inches almost. So, and I was worried. I said, no, let me continue because I don't want that compression level to change. The other nurse, like she's small one. No, I don't want that. So I continue 20 minutes. Usually they stop at 15. I started giving medications and all that. Then by God's grace, I got him back. Yeah. Until now, my code blue did not show. The family members came and like I was drained. It was so tense. I mean, you are trying to save someone and that person is not responding. Family is there and no, I couldn't like tell them I'm sorry. I couldn't do more than that. He passed away. So after I got him back, I saved him and all that. Alhamdulillah. Then I fixed things for him and all that. I was exhausted. I came out of the room. Then at that moment, my code blue team came, the anesthetist and the cardiologist. And they walked inside the room and like they were shocked. Eman, what happened? The patient is still alive? They expected to come and see a dead person. Because after 20 minutes, half an hour, they came and I'm alone. I mean, they know, I mean, what might happen when a patient collapses, like a very high rate of losing the patient. So like they were surprised, they were happy, of course, and like that patient, I shifted that patient to CCU in Salmania, and consultant over there, he told him, they told the family that whoever did the CPR for you has saved your life. And the patient came walking to the clinic after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Amazing.
I know. It was good.
And
but stressful, definitely.
Yeah, I bet.
Very stressful.
And what does that feel like in that mode? I'd say it's just so chaotic. Do you have to like you have to lock in emotionally?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Usually it's a team. Helping one another, complementing one another, in order to save a patient. But I mean, being alone in charge with junior nurses who you have to guide them and plus doing your work. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot of stress and you feel like patients not responding. Am I doing something wrong? Am I missing something? Should I give this medication? Should I give the other medication? And it's very difficult to have. I mean, things happen in the medical field.
Yeah.
Doctors, emergency rooms, they lose patients, but I don't want to be in that state at that stage.
So it's like because
you feel good after that, definitely. You saved a human being.
Yeah, for sure. But in the moment, you're basically telling yourself that I can't.
I can't say that I lost your dad.
Yeah, like as in this is not an option.
No, it's not an option. It wasn't an option.
That's what like drives you to just
go on and on and on and do the compressions. Yes, definitely.
Even though you're beyond the 15-minute mark.
Yes.
And did you what did it feel like kind of internally? Like what was your thought process internally when it had gotten past the 15? Were you just
I wasn't looking at the time.
You just said
I didn't know the time.
Okay.
They told me after that the time. I didn't know the time.
Right.
But for me, I had to continue till I got his breath. And he like responded to me. Yeah. That was my timeline. I didn't know what was the time and how much I was like pressing. No, I didn't know. Yeah. But all was in my mind. I cannot say to this boy, like I was here on the patient compressing and the boy was like opposite me. I was telling the boy, talk to your dad, tell him to come back. I was doing all techniques.
Right.
I mean, medical skills techniques and spiritual technique as well. Yeah.
I think you need to. I think you need that mechanism because if you leave one of those out in that moment, you could also crumble.
I'm a spiritual believer. I believe in God. I know things happen. So I was telling the boy, tell your dad he has to come back to you and I will do my business. You do your business, we'll let God do the business and I will do my business as well. So it was like that.
Great. You must be like a superstar in that family.
They appreciated. Yes, they appreciated that they got the head of the family back. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, definitely.
And how was your interaction with him when he came back to see you at the clinic?
He didn't come to see me actually. He came to see his consultant.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he didn't come to see me. No.
So you didn't see him afterwards at all?
No, I didn't see him.
Oh.
Yeah, after I sent him to the tertiary, no, I didn't see him.
And you haven't seen him since?
Yeah.
No? And how does it kind of feel to be able to do that? Obviously, it's part of your job, but I mean, as a human, to be able to give someone back their life.
Yeah, as I said, it's our job.
Yeah.
And you have to concentrate on doing that. So.
But how does it feel from like a human perspective if you separate the job from it?
That you manage to save the life of another human being. Yeah. That this is where you apply your medical skills, no? It's not only when you see cold cases. This is where you are meant to be. This is where we are supposed to serve the patients. So yes, I served and I fulfilled, thankfully. Yeah.
Good. And you had to obviously get a little bit harsh with his child at one point. You said, if you're going to cry, leave, or if not, you can stay.
Oh, no, that was like 20 something.
Yeah, okay. So,
but as a grown up. Yeah. But I'm not going to have a cry baby with me in a stress situation.
That's fair. But I guess that.
But I gave him, actually, my hospital today, like, it was for them against the rules. Why they were against me, why I kept the family member over there. I could not deprive him of having to be with him, with his dad. Yeah. And I thought I needed some moral support with me. I needed another adult who can help me in that, to reach my goal, to save the father.
Yeah. And you have to, that's part of that communication you were talking about. You have to be a little bit harsh in that moment.
Yeah, so you are the decision maker. They are not in no situation to make decisions for you. No. So you have to make your call. I'm in charge.
And you have to make it quick.
Exactly. Yeah. I just remembered also a funny story. Sorry, you want to say something?
No, well, I was just going to say about this guy. Did he make a full recovery? Because obviously that's very long to be your brain is.
Yeah. He walked. I said he walked back to the clinic. Yeah, he came walking.
It's amazing, especially 20 minutes being like your brain is being.
Yes. Yeah. No, I was giving him oxygen.
Yeah. Oh, you were giving oxygen.
Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah. I was pressing, doing the compression, making the heart work, pumping, and I was giving oxygen. Cannot deprive the brain of oxygen, definitely.
Yeah.
So we are doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you made a full. Okay. Good. Great. Fair play. that sounds.
No, the nurses were very supportive, very helpful at that time. Really.
It's because it's those situations that can kind of make or break someone in the field. They may not be as tenured in that area, and they might just they'll panic and they'll get past a certain mark.
I used to make mock scenarios for them on Fridays because sometimes we're free, we're not that busy.
Right.
So like I'll ask one of the cleaners, housekeeping, to come and stay in one room, and then I'll ring the code blue, and I want to see how fast they come with the crash cards. If they will know which room.
Okay.
So, and then we'll do CPR, we'll pretend that we're doing CPR, how we negotiate the patient, so they were used, but then we had a real case.
Okay. Well, good, it worked then.
I know, yeah, they knew what to do, yes.
Yeah, good. You were going to tell me a funny story.
Yeah, I'm telling you about different patients, you were asking about different patients. Yeah. Once again at night, because I used to have like either morning shift or evening or night. So at that time, sometimes when we don't have enough doctors, I have to cover night shift. Mm-hmm. But usually I do morning because of the administrative work. So here comes a young Saudi patient to the emergency. He had some problem. Mm-hmm. And like he was funny. And I had to do... He was partying, this boy. He was like in his 20s, early 20s. He was partying, and he came with some headache and vomiting and all that. And so his friends brought him for that. So I started giving him and it was funny. We were laughing all the time, That's what it was, not like doctor patient. I was laughing with him all the time. And then I gave him I gave the instructions to the nurses what to give him medication and IV line and all that. And I went to my room. Then, and his friends came up to see him. And then I came back to see him at the emergency room, and there was a teddy bear, purple teddy bear hanging from the IV line. We have an IV line in the ceiling, so it comes down. You pull it, comes down. There was teddy bear, and he said this was his teddy bear, but he's giving it to me. He gave me the teddy bear. I still have it.
Oh.
It's purple. So cute, this thing.
Yeah, that's a nice little bit.
Yeah, this was his thank you to me,
Lovely.
Yeah.
And you still have it.
I don't use it. It's just somewhere in the cupboard. I'm not a teddy bear person.
It helped cure his hangover or whatever he was experiencing.
I didn't want to say it because I said the nationality. I don't want to say, but you're good. I think many visits to that emergency made you see different people, different categories.
Yeah, I figured that scenario as well. I won't delve too much deeper, but
yeah,
people can use their imagination.
Exactly, but you're on the right path. No, I'm just saying how patient react. I mean, the rapport between me and the patient. He gave me this, and it was hanging. It was so cute. Yeah. He hung it it had a ribbon, a purple ribbon, and he hung it from that. Very cool. He said, "You have to take it." I said, "No." I said, "No, you have to take it." I never saw that patient again. Yeah, I don't even remember how he looks like. Honestly.
I'm sure he remembers the story.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's mad just the different ends of the spectrum of these interactions.
Yeah, somebody's dying, another one who's giving away teddy bears.
Yeah. As a gift for saving from his...
I mean, just being nice to him or giving him some Ivy line. Imagine just for that.
Yeah. It means a lot to them in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what was the guy who had collapsed, was that one of the most kind of intense?
Yeah, this one I had previously. I had one lady also who collapsed, and she was going to the bathroom and she collapsed on the floor. Then the nurses called me. Luckily I was at the nurse station. They called me. I had to carry her, put her. But at that time, the phone was next to me. So I was trying to save her, and I called the reception or told him to call the consultant who was in charge of her. I called him. I told him that she collapsed, but he came fast. He was living nearby, but alhamdulillah, she also was saved.
Okay.
That's why it's a must for every doctor on duty or a nurse to know the BLS, the basic life support, and the SLS, cardiac also support. Yeah.
Okay. You mean like CPR and everything?
Yeah. This is what we call BLS, basic life support. This is the CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
And you said SLS?
SELS is advanced cardiac life support. This is more members of the team will come and more medications will be given. It's usually by the anesthetist.
Right. Okay. And so now these days, so what are you up to?
These days after I resigned, of course they did not approve of my resignation. And there was some trouble because they wanted me to stay, but I couldn't see myself anymore. Actually, I asked myself one question before, because it was very difficult for me to resign from that place. I was attached to it. I said for 17 years, and I knew the people, my seniors, I respected them so much, and we had a really good relationship, but I couldn't continue on that status quo, I asked myself, can I continue like this another 1 year, another 12 months? And my answer was no, I couldn't. I needed to change. I needed to do something else. I was tied up. I felt myself tied up. I wanted to do other things. So actually at that time I was I was an examiner for professional skills at AGU, Arabian Gulf University. So I started teaching there, medical students, year 2, 3, and 4. 3 units in each year, and we teach them professional skills, how to examine a patient, different systems, cardiovascular, respiratory, abdominal, central nervous system, blood system, homeopathic system. So we teach them all these things, and we are examiners as well.
Sorry, just a second. Yeah. So what you're working, what you've been working at since you resigned?
Oh yeah. A college, yes, yes, medical students. it's good to see the future doctors in the business and the work.
Yeah.
And yes, they are dedicated. It's a good college. I'm happy there. And yes, it's a part-time job actually.
Okay. Right.
And actually, if you would like to know, since I resigned, like it's been almost 4 years. This October it will be 4 years. My hospital called me back. No, as they want me to help them in the accreditation.
Okay.
So I'm doing part-time job with them.
Right. Great. So you're doing part-time with them and you're also doing part-time lecturing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we work full week. But it's only like a couple of hours every day at the university.
Okay. And the modules that you're teaching?
As I said, like for year 2, it is environment. Then they have respiratory system. Then they have cardiovascular system. Then you move on to year 3, where I think they start with abdomen. There is abdomen. There is CNS, central nervous system. And then there is hematology or hematopoietic system.
Right.
Then year 4, it will be a revision of all the past 6 units. And something else they will take. I totally forgot. Yeah, they have different sessions. They cover pediatrics, they cover obs and gynae, they cover surgery, different examination for the males and the females. Then medicine as well. We have different cases, hypertension, diabetes. Yeah, so they cover. But we don't go for year 5 and year 6. It's up to year 6. So some other lecturers and other tutors will take care of that.
Right. Okay. And was that had you done lecturing before, previously?
Yes, in Lebanon, I did, yeah.
How was that?
It was good, I liked it, yeah. I used to teach nursing, I think. I forgot, long time ago. Nursing, and I used to teach administration as well. I did all these things before coming and doing them legally here. I mean, legally in the sense, with experience and certification.
Yeah. And do you like the teaching aspect of it more than you do the practicing, or what do you prefer more?
Again, I like communicating with people. So yeah, I'm good with my students. My students, they get back to me. The other day, like we had exam, and they all they were so happy. Like whatever I taught them, it's reflected on them in the exam. So I was happy with that. So like it is, I mean, reciprocating. My hard work is reciprocating in the students, and they are doing well in their exams. So I'm happy with that.
Great. So it kind of gives you that sense of achievement for them.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, I know we always trying to improve ourselves in the how to give them the knowledge and the experience and the skill to do that. You know, to learn. It's not easy.
Sure.
So, I mean, for medicine, you have to be aware of everything other than the material, the topics, the subjects. You have to learn the skill that match that learning.
Sure. Yeah. And
I mean, you don't learn like about the heart and not knowing how to examine the heart.
Yeah, true.
Right?
So it's you learn the theory and then the practical.
Exactly. So like you don't learn about medications and you don't know how to, for example, give them as tablet or give them as an IV or as an IM injection.
Okay.
So it's all applicable. I mean, it's all applied.
Yeah. And do you like to, or have you taught any of the kind of interpersonal people management aspect yourself?
In which way?
No, so you said, because you had learned in RCSI, you did a course in like people management.
2 years. It's a master's degree. Yeah.
But do you
healthcare management?
Healthcare management, yeah. Do you teach any of that yourself?
No, but it has reflected on my teaching. It has reflected on me. I don't teach healthcare management, but we use quality and we use management during our work, right?
Yeah.
So this is my application to it. It has helped me a lot, really. It added so much to my knowledge, to my personality, maybe to my skills, definitely. And I was targeting RCSI.
Yeah.
Since I was small, Patrick, I had this in my mind to visit Ireland. How? I never knew how. I will go to Ireland, really, or to go to Scotland. I was always like into the Loch Ness. I wanted to see the Loch Ness all my life. It was like my dream. So all of a sudden, this thing came. Actually, I had a colleague who always, he was like with me. He was in different organization, but he always like telling me, Iman, go for the healthcare management. You go for because he knew what I was working in the hospital, in the administrative side. So he was always encouraging me. He kept encouraging me. That took for some years till like the right moment came, and then I went for it. Yeah, at that time I don't think there was RCSI. I'm not sure. No, it was, but I never heard about that. And then I got. Then after we finished in RCSI, they wanted to have a summer school.
Right.
And summer school in Dublin. That was my break.
Great.
That was my break.
Yeah.
And I said, I have to go. And I went. Oh my God, it was lovely.
Yeah.
It was lovely, so beautiful.
And you were in Dublin for the summer?
No, it was like we went there for 4 days or something. There was something like a conference. We met with the other sector of healthcare management in Dublin.
Okay.
So our CEO here went there. Our teachers, they went there and they like met us over there. So it was like a mini reunion. But we had a conference. We met of the other NHS staff, doctors and nursing over there. So it was good experience to exchange over there with them. Yeah.
Great. So you got to your childhood wish, I guess.
Finally,
I guess, yeah.
Things happen. Things happen, really.
Yeah, great. And did you get over to Scotland?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is another story. Scotland came out of the blue. Also, I received an email. For the dissertation masters, you have to do a poster. Other than the write-up, you have to propose. A project write-up. And so with that you have to make a poster. So I made a poster for that. Then after some time, after 2 or 3 years, I received an email from Quality Improvement Forum, and they say that they are gonna hold their next conference in Glasgow, Scotland. And if I have any material to present, so to present it. So that was again my getaway to Scotland. So I presented that poster. I mean, I applied that poster to them. They have accepted it. They asked me to do a video. So you can check my video on YouTube on their quality. Yeah, it is there. And so they uploaded that video for me, and they I had to pay, of course, the ticket, the accommodation, and all that. But you will have a place. They give me like it's a 5 minutes stand to explain you about your poster. Then now I remember. Then another thing has opened up from there. So I went there and I presented my poster. It was like 3 days conference. Then from there, I was selected by the BMJ, that's the British Medical Journal. Next day, I came to see my poster, and there was that yellow post-it, and they said, please go to the BMJ stand. And I went there, said, what's wrong? They said, are you interested in peer reviewing articles? I said, okay, that will be great. That will be my pleasure as well. So I took that chance. And from that time, like 2019, then COVID came. Then COVID came. So it was slow during COVID time, not many articles, because if you want to research, so you have to collect data, you have to see people, you have to mix up. And so it was COVID, so no mixing up. But from 2021, we started again, and I'm still reviewing for the BMJ. So I got a chance.
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the process of, because you hear this a lot, people outside of the industry hear peer-reviewed journals and articles. What does that entail exactly if you're asked to peer review something?
Yeah, they will give you your specialty. They don't give you everything.
Okay.
So for me, it is though medical, the peer review, it has to be in quality. It has to be a quality improvement project.
Right.
The person or the authors who have done this project in their organization, or they have to have identified a malfunction or a problem in their organization or in their system or in the process they are working with, and they are trying to improve it. Put another system into it, or put another way to do it. They identify the problem and then they rectify it. So when you peer review, you have to find, are they following the guidelines? Is it not a copy of another project? Is it in the proper way they are doing it? Are they using quality tools? Is it written properly? Are they using any media or graphs to explain their research or their data? So there are certain ways to write up an article. So we have to go through that. So it's not just one person. It's a peer review. So 2 or 3, plus the BMJ editors. So there's a checklist and we have to fill it up and give a reason for whatever question they are asking us in our review. And then usually the process takes 2 to 3 weeks, and they will tell us the verdict. Actually, I'm waiting now for one verdict. It took some time. I don't know why. It took more than like 3 weeks. I don't know. It takes some time because it depends on the author whether they accept the reviews or not. So they have to rectify it. So like the editors of BMJ, they will tell us that yes, it has been like you have to take whether it's a major change, minor change, or it's not accepted at all. So sometimes we went into not accepted at all. It had no relation into any quality improvement. It was nothing. It was just, it's like telling a story. It wasn't a project at all. Okay. And they have really accepted and rejected. So it is a reject. So sometimes I will, it is due for major change. And sometimes me and the other peer reviewer, we agree on that. I don't know the other person, but I mean, once the author accepts, they will give us the reply and what the other peer reviewer ideas or thoughts on the project. So yes, so they sent it for correction and editing, and then they bring it back for us to review again, and whether we accept it or it needs further work on it.
Okay.
So we had all situations, yes.
Right. So in a case where you reject something, does everyone have to unanimously reject it?
Yes. I mean, no. So, when I rejected, the other author accepted it. But the editor-in-chief of the BMJ, they have rejected it as well.
Oh, so they'll generally probably reject it even if one person rejects
I mean,
it.
if they see it is true, if my review was, I had explained it well, and I told them why I rejected it, and they have to review it themselves as well to agree on it. Yeah.
Right. And is that something, peer review, like the skill of peer reviewing something, is that something that you're taught?
No.
Or you just
no. You have to read it. You have to understand what they want. Like I read it 2 to 3 times. Maybe some people will take 1 time, but for me, I take some time to read. I comprehend things.
Yeah.
I had to divide it in my mind. I write things and all that. So I want to see what is missing. And I have to answer the questions. So I always match the questions that the BMJ have it with the article. So yeah, they give you 2 weeks to review. So I read it once, then again I read it again and try to answer the questions. You know what, now they have started recently, the BMJ, they have included, usually they ask, is there any competing interest or whatever. Now they have added, is there AI was used in your review or not?
Right, yeah.
Oh, wow. I was shocked. I was surprised. Yeah. So they added this.
Yeah, that's just...
If AI is included in review, of course I don't use AI in my review.
Yeah, that's just the way things are going. Like, you wouldn't be surprised if people do use it for their reviews.
Yeah, so. Actually now, today is Saturday. On Thursday, I had an interview with a researcher, somebody who's doing a master's in Warwick University, and she is into medical education. She's a doctor, and her research now is about incorporating AI in what I'm teaching, the professional skills or the problem-based learning.
Oh, okay.
They want to do that, the college.
Right.
And so she is interviewing doctors who are working at the university and teaching the medical students if we approve of AI or how do we use AI in our work and all that. I use it, but I don't use it much.
Yeah. You use it like...
But I don't mind it.
Yeah. It's good. Like, it just depends on how you use it.
I use it just to organize my thoughts, to know what paragraphs, and then I add my work.
Yeah.
But I don't use it fully.
Yeah, because some people can just shamelessly use it to spit out
to write,
an
everything.
article, and they don't even review that themselves.
Exactly.
Or they,
yeah.
But it's good as an extension to help you, to assist you.
Yeah, because you have
in
to keep up with the young generation. They themselves are using AI as well. So we might as well legalize it for them in the education. But like my point of view was like, I'm used to the standard type of education. Besides it's medical, right? So you're not going to ask AI to do the medicine for you. So you have to learn it the old-fashioned way, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
You can incorporate AI in like discussing a problem, discussing a case scenario. Yeah, so that I'm okay with that.
Yeah, as long as they put guardrails on how it's used in the industry, because
yes,
you could get people writing something, a peer-reviewed article, and they may have heavily used AI, but the AI they're very susceptible to hallucination.
Is it?
Yeah, and to also kind of almost gaslighting the person who's using it into thinking that
true.
that their thinking is right. It's just kind of, it's sort of, they give them affirmations when they ask it something.
True. I read about this the other day. You know, it's always affirming with you.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, they agree with you. And maybe you're on the wrong track. Your thought process is wrong.
Yeah.
But they give you a yes. They want you to be happy and that, yes, what you're doing is right, but maybe it's wrong.
Yeah. So people need to be very careful about that, because that can...
And I think in one condition, sorry to interrupt, that somebody wanted to commit suicide and said, yeah, go ahead, isn't it? It happened.
There was a case of someone, I think in America, where it was by positive affirmations to what they were considering doing.
Yeah.
It sort of led them to the point where they were like, well, even an AI is telling me that this is probably the most...
Yeah, this is the only way out.
Yeah, there was a lawsuit going on about that, I think.
It's true, yeah.
It was with, I believe it was with OpenAI.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's very, because people just assume that it has the right answers.
True.
But
I think maybe these are lonely people. I don't know. They would need somebody to talk to and to tell them, yes, you are right. So some problem, hidden problem.
Yeah, and there's a new, I guess, facet of psychology coming out now with the rise of AI, which is basically AI-induced psychosis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it has to do with that, where the person just they rely so heavily on
what to eat, what to do, how should I behave this way, what should I wear?
Just on they rely so heavily on like a chat model and a large language model for everything, and they keep asking it things.
Movie about somebody falling in love with his AI machine.
Oh, the film Her.
It's called Her.
Joaquin Phoenix.
But she was talking like with some 1,000 other people, right? And he was heartbroken. I saw this movie some time ago. It was
it's not too far from...
It's the truth, or what people are going through.
The possibilities, yeah. But it's very interesting to read about that study on the psychological aspects of it, of what it can do and the harm that it can do. But that is a thing now that they're studying, is the psychosis.
Definitely.
AI-induced psychosis. And it's just from heavy use of it and reliance on it, and then from it just affirming you into a certain way of thinking when
Yeah.
it's not actually
The right thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's, I think, something people need to be really careful of, especially in the
Definitely.
healthcare industry.
Definitely.
And now that you're working part-time, I guess you're working part-time across a few different institutions. So I guess you have more free time overall. What do you like to do with your free time?
My free time. Today morning we had a walk. Supposed to be run/walk. With one cafe here in Adliya. So it was fun. We met some new people. It was good. So we go on Saturday on walks. If the weather is good, we walk around the streets. If it's hot, and the malls. So this is for Saturday. On Friday, actually, we met these people during one of our walks. I go for boat rowing on a Friday.
Is that dragon boat?
Dragon, yeah. Everybody knows the dragon. Yeah, so it's dragon. Yesterday I was there.
Which team?
Alpha.
Alpha. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. I like the water.
Water?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll have little bits.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. Yeah, I was speaking with Dunya about that as well.
Yeah, Dunya actually started. She likes to talk to people. Like I'm walking, but then she saw that all of them are wearing the same T-shirt. So she asked them what kind of group you people are, and there was a dragon on their T-shirts. So they told us. We said yes, why not? We'll go. So we met up with them. I'm interested, like in doing new things and all that. And yes, but she pulled out, Dunya.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm continuing with them. I like to go.
So you're still going?
Yeah, I'm still going.
Every
Yesterday,
weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
We stepped during the fireworks. We stopped, but now we're back to it.
Now you're back.
Yeah, we're back.
No, I eventually will get back into it.
Are you too?
Yeah, I was training for a while with the Black Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a mixed skill group with the Black Dragons. It's kind of a variety of different,
even
different
our
levels.
group is the same thing.
Yeah, but it's really good fitness.
Yeah, I like it, and we have a good coach. They go for racing. Yeah,
I've done a couple of races.
They got like second place in race.
Oh wow!
Yeah, in Barcelona, and now they're gonna go. I think they have in June local, however, race.
The races are very intense. I did a couple in Bahrain.
Oh yeah,
in Bahrain Bay, and you're rowing for what, about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. You're going like 400 meters, 500 meters.
Yesterday she told me I was rowing for 5 minutes. Oh my God.
Oh, in the training. Yeah, in the training.
I mean, all of us, the group in the boat.
Yeah, it's.
She made us do for 5 minutes. Not easy.
It's
but I don't know for how long is the race.
The race is between a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
That's it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all?
Yeah, because you're going. Well, it depends on what the distance.
Okay.
But the standard for the race that I did, it was the end of 2024. I think that was the last race I did. I think that was a 400 meter.
Yeah, they keep saying 400 meters. I heard them yesterday.
But there is races where you do a kilometer.
Okay.
But it's just for those 400 meters.
It's a kill. It's a kill.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a kill.
It's horrible.
I know.
But it's but it's a very interesting sport.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I never thought I would go into this, but no, I'm interesting. I like it.
There's a very wholesome, supportive community in Bahrain.
No, it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
It's a dedication. It's a consistency. And I figured out that I know I'm a team player. I know, like, I listen. It's not like I listen to orders. I mean, if there is somebody, I will go with the team. I will fight for the team. I will be dedicated. I will be consistent, and I will try to reach the goal. So it fits me. So other people know they like to play like single games, but I like team games.
Good. Yeah, and I guess that probably stems from just your work life as well. You're working amongst a team.
I like to be around people
towards a goal. But no, that's a good outlet. I'd never heard about dragon boat racing before a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
I saw someone that I know on Instagram doing it, and I said, what on earth is this?
Yeah.
Can I come down? And
Yeah, they're very
so it's-
welcome of every. I mean, whichever dragon it is, I know they are
Yeah.
very welcome to anybody.
yeah, at
from
any
it.
of the competitions, everyone's very supportive, and
Definitely.
it's a nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're fairly fitness oriented, I guess.
Yeah, I
these
go
days.
to the gym as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often?
Well, now I try like from Sunday to Wednesday. I go.
Okay.
I go to classes.
Right.
I like classes also.
Like
in a
boot
group.
camp classes?
No, not boot camp. We do some classes are like body pump, lifting weights. Then I like cycling or spinning classes. It's good. I got the best rider in one class.
Good for you.
I beat up people half
Yeah.
my age, maybe. That was good.
Yeah.
So I was the best rider for one of the classes. It was good. Yeah. So I like cycling, spinning. We do body attack,
Never heard of it.
where you jump around, up and
Okay.
down, up and down.
Mhm.
Then there is some great exercises, some different. So different classes I go to. I don't go to the machines.
Mhm.
I
No.
mean, it's boring.
Yeah.
So I like to something active.
So it's like body oriented, body weight.
Yeah, they do like different parts of the. I mean, upper body, lower body. In every class, they do core.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's fun, and different coaches.
Yeah.
So like you can choose like for example 4 p.m. there are 3 different classes to choose from.
Mhm.
So yeah, a lot of choices. That's good.
Good.
Mm.
And what else do you like to fill your time with, your free time? What else do you like to do?
My free time, I like to sit by myself. I don't mind sitting by myself.
That's a nice.
Some people
activity.
don't enjoy being with themselves. I enjoy.
I think everyone needs to be comfortable to a certain degree.
Yeah, the best
Spending-
time for me during COVID,
Mhm.
I was traveling. I came in COVID, or maybe after Malaysia, maybe something after reunion. We always have a college reunion every 2 years, so they made me stay for 2 weeks. So I had to send my mom to stay with my sister.
Mhm.
Happiest 2 weeks for me. With my cat. I always keep myself busy. I always have things to do.
Mhm.
Arranging, organizing. So I was so happy.
It's good when
Really
you're.
good. I enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I enjoy myself.
'Cause some people can't be alone. They need to always be around people.
No,
Which-
okay.
It's nice to have a certain amount of time
Exactly.
on your own. I think everyone.
If you are occupied, I'm always occupied
Yeah.
with things.
Mhm.
So I'm okay with it. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't mind. We meet friends for breakfast, like with Dunya or some other university girls. So yeah, we meet for that. And what else? Traveling whenever possible.
Mhm. Where do you like to travel? Do you get back to Lebanon?
Yeah, that's what I used to do after coming to Bahrain.
Mhm.
I used to go to every vacation. I will go to Lebanon to see my sister and the family. And then I thought to myself, will not allow me to visit other countries, so I have to travel twice a year. So I told my hospital that I want to take twice a year holidays. So in order, I want to travel. I like to travel. So yeah. So I started doing that from I think 2012, and yeah, I visited a couple. I like Europe.
Yeah.
I like Europe.
Whereabouts in Europe?
So like Ireland, I go to the UK. Then Scotland, when I went to Glasgow, I went to the UK as well, and I managed to go to the Loch Ness. Finally, I went and saw the lake. That was nice, and we drove there in Glasgow. I mean Scotland, all the way to Leeds.
Oh, okay,
So you
yeah.
can reach up to Leeds.
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, we drove. Then I liked Italy.
Mhm.
Positano, Amalfi Coast, Capri, and we went up the volcano.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah. Then where else? Where else? Yeah, I went to Hamburg, Amsterdam. I loved Amsterdam.
Amsterdam's great. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
Then to Belgium
Mhm.
as well. Then Turkey. recently, 23. Then where else? Of course, local. Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE several times, Saudi, I went. Oman was nice.
I haven't been to Oman yet, but
You
I've
know,
heard it's
but I
lovely.
didn't go to Salalah. I went to a place people don't go. Usually, I don't go to the usual place. I went to the Green Mountain.
Okay.
Up. Beautiful.
Yeah. It's very
You can
tropical.
cycle, you can walk, you can hike. But
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So I went there, 7-star hotel. So beautiful. Yeah.
7-star? Wow. Only
I wanted to be in that place, that group, Anantara.
Oh, okay.
So I went for that, Anantara. I like that.
Nice. Yeah, only out here do they have those 7-star.
Yeah. But
hotels.
it's good.
Yeah.
And the chef is perfect. Excellent chef over there. The food was good.
I'm sure.
Then Malaysia a couple of times because most of my classmates were Malaysians. So we do our reunions over there in Malaysia.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Then went back to India again to my where I studied, to my college.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was in 2016.
Right. How was it?
It was beautiful to see but everything has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, our laid back environment totally changed. Like at that time, everybody was on the bikes. I mean, guys, they were like driving bikes, motorcycles, and few had cars. Now everybody has cars. Nobody walks.
Times have changed.
Yeah, we could not recognize everything. So, but it was like nostalgic. It was good to see where we used to go to the library or where is our anatomy department, our physiology department, like that. But they will not allow us, they didn't allow us to go to our hostel, you know?
Oh, why not?
They had to, I don't know, I couldn't understand their logic.
And they just strict.
They said, no, you cannot. This is only for residents. But we said, like, we used to stay here. We lived here a couple of years. No. They didn't allow us to go up. I don't understand the logic.
That's a bit sad.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you've got a nice eclectic mix of different interests. And so what does the kind of future look like for you in terms of work? Would you like to continue lecturing part-time?
As long as it takes.
Yeah.
As long as it takes, I'm continuing, yes.
Yeah. And what would do you have any sort of advice or wisdom or knowledge that you would kind of give to people in terms of maybe people that are pursuing something similar to you or that are trying to kind of navigate like what you were trying as a kid?
I don't remember anything as a kid.
No?
No, but I know, like, I worked so hard during like my career, and my shift in Lebanon was not easy, but I like it. I was very much like dependent on myself. I mean, I was independent of anyone, any other people, and yeah, a new character in me has evolved. And because I belonged over there, I liked it over there. I couldn't match much here, you know. So I worked so hard. For me, I would say I don't believe in no answer. Like my nurses, I used to I asked them for something, they say, no, it's not possible, doctor. No, you cannot do it. I say, no, I will not take no for an answer. It is possible. I know it is. It can be resolved. I know you will find something, and I would know what is. I mean, the answer, but I wanted them to do. Then after like 1 day or 2 days, yes, doctor, there is a solution. We can do it. So I don't. There's no for me. Nothing is impossible. Don't tell me you cannot do something. No, everything is doable. If you have a will, you will do it. Definitely, no matter what. And like people, if they hide behind excuses, I kind of don't accept that, because I know things, if you want, you can fight for whatever you want, you can go after it, and you can achieve. So I don't believe nothing is impossible for me.
Great. Yeah, I think because people just that's the kind of default. If something seems a little bit challenging, it's
They
just,
say we
I
cannot
can't
do.
it,
It's not possible. It's not doable.
Yeah.
No. It's not. No one does that.
Yeah, as opposed to there's a way there. We just need to figure
There's
it out.
always a way.
Mhm.
There's always a way.
Mhm.
I
Great.
mean, it's always the right way. It's always. I mean, it's not like illegal or something bad you're going to do in order to achieve it. No. It's always in the right, correct way, the right path that you are following. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not something out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
But you just have to think.
Yeah. Sit back and
and
figure
think
it out.
outside the box. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you will get things. You'll move on.
Mhm.
You will achieve things and you'll manage.
Take chances.
Chances, definitely.
Jump out of your comfort zone.
Always. I even advise my siblings. They always say, "Oh, we'll have another time to meet up. We'll have another time to go to this place." I say, "No, there's no time. Either do it now, or you never know what might happen. We might not meet up later on. Something might happen that one of us will not join the other one.
Mhm.
Do it now. If it's all the factors are helping in meeting up or doing something, then do it. Why postpone?
Mhm.
Just do it. So yes, we want to do something. Travel now. Yes, if it's suitable, we'll go. If it's not suitable, then we'll try some other thing to think about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Take chances, definitely, because sometimes, as I said, the chance might not come later on, or maybe it will come in a different form, but maybe you don't want that chance at that time later on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think so.
And things might not work out, but that's fine.
Exactly.
It might lead to something else then.
If you accept it.
Yeah, for sure. I think those are nice parting words. I think that's a good way to maybe wrap up
Yeah.
conversation.
That's good.
It's
yeah.
been very enjoyable.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
thank you for
Enjoyable
coming,
with you
Eman.
as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's been very nice, and I wish you all the success in
Thank
everything
you.
else.
Same to you as
that
well
you-
in your this new venture.
Thank you.
I think you're getting to know so much about people, right?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think it over later on or something?
What's that?
Do you think it over later on?
Yeah, a little bit. I think.
Take, I mean, some from each
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah,
right?
that was sort of the aim of this. Not just for me to take something.
Yeah,
but
for
just,
others when
just
you
for
broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's a way for the person to sit there and actually realize, take something from themselves as well.
Yeah, true.
Because
true.
stuff can come out that they're like, okay, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah,
So
you are right.
It's just to kind of have these candid.
And we have to learn from one another.
Sure.
Yeah, I learn like from different levels, even
Mhm.
from my students. If somebody does that, yeah, I will learn, or some colleague or
Mm.
somebody I know. Yeah, we learn from one another. We have to keep open for all of that, right?
Sure. Thank you very much.
That's good. Thank you,
Eman.
Patrick. It was nice
It's been
having
great.
you.
Thank you.
Being with you as well.
Thank you.